Good morning, everyone. Shalom. It's your girl Yashonda, and I'm coming in, and I'm going to be painting something weird. So I'm going to be painting this mannequin head and try to give it some details. I'm going to be using it for a future project, but I also have a mannequin I want to paint it for some wigs, not my wigs, but wigs for someone else. So I just want to give it a little bit, a little bit character. And if you notice my camera in the background, I'm going to be shooting this for a future video. So I will be chopping this down and you can see a better image of what I'm doing a little later. So let's get started with the morning coffee and painting. Now, I'm going to start off by creating my different colors of brown that I'm going to use for it because, of course, I'm going to make her brown like me. So I'm going to be adding brown, this color nutmeg brown, to all six of these. But I'm going to add different colors with it so it could be a different shade of brown. Some is going to be darker, some's going to be lighter, some's going to have some creamer colors to it, and some's going to have some red tones and orange tones. So I could make her face look as realistic as possible. So I'm going to put a good little amount in each section. And if you hear my television in the background, please forgive me. That is Good Morning America, and I do not own the rights to anything they're talking about or the music that may be played. And go ahead and set up my camera. And see how it looks as far as the camera. Back it up just a little bit, my tripod. Okay. Now I know you guys may only be able to see the back side of it, but I'm gonna try to do it sideways for now so you can see it live and my camera can pick it up what I'm doing. And the neatest thing about my camera, which I love, it comes with its own little remote control. So I could just sit here and I could press the button and begin recording. So if y'all see that in future videos, see the little remote control down there, you already know what's going on. I'm recording myself, except for when I have my cameraman, which is my husband, to shoot for me. Then I won't have the remote control. Okay, we're gonna get started on here. If I can get it started. Okay. Now these paints, which is acrylic paints, you can find them at Walmart. You can get it pretty much from any store, Walmart, Target, Amazon. But of course, anything that you order is going to cost a little bit more. So I would suggest that, you just go inside your local Walmart, you get the colors that you're looking for, and you just blend the way that you want to blend them. Okay, in my brown color palette, as you can see, I'm going to be adding the different tones of colors that you see I pull out. First, we're going to add just a drop of orange, just a drop, if it comes out. Okay, that's it, just a drop. Because trust me, just that drop is going to make a ton of difference. And the other one, I'm going to add a little of this sunshine yellow. A little of this pink, which is some may say pink, some may say fuchsia. Some may say that is red. I don't know, just depending on your eye. But it clearly is written, it says fuchsia, which is a color of pink. Now, I don't know if anyone's come into the room as of this moment because my laptop has went dark for which I'm going live on. So if there's someone there, I'd like to say good morning and thank you for joining us this morning. We're going to be painting something weird and freaky. That's the best way I could put it because I don't know about anyone else, but mannequins kind of freak me out. And this is pretty much the same as any other mannequin. It's basic white, it's foam. You can purchase these mannequins from Walmart, get a 6 pack for I think like $12. Is really inexpensive. Now, what I'm doing now is I'm mixing these tones and colors. And this is the one that has I should have something else to mix this up, but I'm using what I got. And that's the first one that has a little orange to it. Now, the next one I'm blending together will be the brown with the sunshine yellow. It's going to blend that really well. And it might look the same color to you, don't look any difference, but trust me that once I begin painting, you're going to see the different tones of the brown, which is going to make the mannequin head look a little bit more realistic. Mixing the one with the white, give it a lighter color. And I'm going to blend the one with the fuchsia. You might be able to tell that color a little bit better. They all relatively look the same, but they're not. Different tones of the color too. And I actually need to blend one more. Need to blend a little black. Because I need it to be just a tad bit dark, just a little bit of a dark undertone for certain areas of the face because your face is not just one color. It's several different colors. It's several, I want to say it's several different dimensions to it, but I mean, that's why when you look ways, it looks different. I mean, it's different angles of your face, and depending on how the light is reflecting off of your skin, you're going to see the different undertone of colors. And not being funny, but when I see certain things painted and it's just one even tone, it kind of irritates me a little bit because nothing is just one tone. Is if you see a red color or you see a pink color, it's different. It's different colors of pink. It could be a light pink, it could be a fuchsia, it could be um, a darker pink. It may even get down to like a mahogany, which is a reddish brown, but it's going to be different colors of that color within that color. It's not going to be just one solid color. And it just kind of, irritate me when I see someone coloring something or painting something that's just one basic tone. And I just think to myself, I'm like, well, that's not the way things are. Okay, I'm going to be using uh, my brushes that I got from Walmart. They're artificial bristles, which is good, which is made from, nylon and other materials. And If you're going to use a different paintbrush, which they may call it natural, those are made from animal hairs, mainly pig hairs. And I don't eat pig, consume pork, or touch pork. So I don't use those paint brushes. And those paint brushes are better for when you're doing oil paintings anyways. So I'm going to start kind of like on the top of the head, just to kind of just try to get a basic color. See how it's looking on this foam mannequin. And try a little bit of this brownish orange and see how it shows up on here. It shows up nicely. So the other day I was watching the news, and just like everyone, I seen the eruption of the volcano, and I was wondering, did anyone else catch? It almost looked like an image of a man's face or possibly a lion's face that came out of the smoke. There was lightning coming out of the volcano. I mean, I don't want to sound ignorant, but I used to love school, and I don't remember ever hearing that lightning could come up out of a volcano. And then I haven't seen anyone speak about it or talk too much in details. In the sector, the sector that I usually be in YouTube. So I was like, is everyone kind of ignorant or blind to what happened, or did they not see the same thing I saw? Kind of like one of those. Uh, if anyone can remember a few years ago when they had that little debacle about what was it? The dress. Hashtag the dress. Do you guys remember that? It was basically, some people said that the dress was blue and black. Some people, when they saw it, they saw the dress as gold and white. And I want to say that both is correct, because it just depends on the way your eye and the connection to your brain, how you see things. But the actual color of the dress was black and blue. So I don't know, guys. It just was weird to me. When I looked at it, it kind of looked like a man face, but it really resembled a lion to me. And boy, did that get things stirred up inside me. I was like, oh my goodness, this looked like prophecy here. I know how many of you guys are religious out there and pay attention to biblical prophecies. But if you know about the most high son that he brought here on earth to die and be the redeemer of his people, when he came as a gentle lamb. He was the sacrificial lamb, and speaking metaphors and well, I don't want to say similitudes, um, parables. They speak in parables. So when he came, he was gentle as a lamb. He was very calm. He was very loving. Had a message, his father's message. He was trying to convey and get out to the masses of his people that was scattered abroad. And he was the gentle lamb. But after he became that sacrifice for his people, because of how much they continued to sin, in them being the lost sheep and having the promise of Abraham and Jacob, which Jacob's name was changed to Israel. I don't know if that's showing up. I'm going to kind of pan it over here. See if you can see the different shades of brown that's showing up. Now I'm going to show you guys. Can you see the different shades of brown? They look different. And that gives the face a little bit more dimension. It gives it a little bit more realistic look to it to me. So I'm just going to continue on doing that as we're chatting. But yeah, like I said before, earlier he came as, the gentle as a lamb, the sacrificial lamb, came with love, came spreading the gospel, the good news of the Most High, and how his people can be, forgiven and saved. And only thing they had to do was come back and keep the commandments, keep the laws of the Torah, or how some would say the Old Testament. And some people think it's, that the laws is done away with. And I don't want to, get into no lesson because I can't. A woman is subject not to teach. A woman is subject not to prophesize with her head uncovered. As you can see, my head is covered. I keep it covered because I love to keep the words of the Lord on my lips. And I never know when I might just, start talking about them or prophesizing because, the Most High can use you whenever he chooses to. We don't belong to ourselves. We belong to him. Therefore, as he chooses to use me, I keep my head covered because I never know when I'm going to be speaking his words. And I see a lot of people, they come and not shading anyone. They come on these social media platforms, on Facebook, on YouTube, and even some on Instagram. And these people are prophesizing and praying, and they're women with their heads uncovered. And I just think to myself, they mustn't read that scripture that, they bring shame to their head. And when it says it brings shame to your head, it's shame to yourself. But who's over the woman in the household? Her husband. And if a woman don't have a husband yet, you bring a shame upon your future husband, or you bring a shame upon your heavenly husband, because your heavenly husband is Yahawashi, ignorantly known as Jesus Christ to everyone else. So when you, prophesize or pray, or you're speaking from the scriptures or the Torah or the New Testament, and your head is not covered, only thing I would tell anyone, run far away from that person, click off that video, get far away. Because there's no way you can sit there and be giving out the message of the Most High and saying that he's leading you when he didn't even lead you to that scripture that said a subject, a woman not to preach nor teach. And if she was to prophesize with her head uncovered, she brings a shame upon herself. And it is better it's the same equivalent as if she was bald, because she should be bald if she's, delivering the message of the Most High and was given that discernment to do so, or didn't do it with her head covered. It's not my words. I'm just quoting from what is written inside the Bible. And most people, they say, oh, they love the Bible, they read the Bible and everything else. But it makes me question that if they really do, because or they just read what's convenient to them or what soothes their soul. But, there's a scripture about that. Don't prophesy to me, the truth. Speak to me smooth things. And that's what the word said. That's what most people want to hear. They want to hear smooth things. And I'm never the one to just tell a person smooth things. I'd rather have the truth, because I've been told since I was a child, the truth shall set you free. And we're using a little bit of that brown and sunshine yellow. And I know it seems like I'm doing a bit much, but I promise you, even though I still see a few undertones of white, because of course I'm really feeling I'm have to do several layers to this, but I'm seeing more of a realistic skin tone come out by using these different shades of brown on how I mixed it. And that's going to give it more of a realistic look to the face. I'll give you another glance at it. And I'm just going to continue on with this around the entire head and let it dry. And this is typically how I do my videos. You know, I record a little. I record a little and I get enough footage that I need. And I will pause or stop the camera because having, hours and let's say 45 minutes of me painting this is not beneficial or useful, especially to my memory drive. So what I'm going to do is stop that for a moment and continue on painting the bus. So now it's just you and I, guys. Well, I hope it's someone there. Like I said, my screen is still black. You'll be able to see that from my camera that the screen turned black on me. So I couldn't see who was on, and I apologize. I pray that someone is in here, that someone's in here listening to me. If not, I'm just enjoying painting. It's like I said, it's soothing, but not to get too far off of what I was talking about before. So when I seen the lion, it just reminds me on how the Most High Son, Yahawashi, the world ignorantly call, Jesus Christ. He says when he come back, he's coming back as a roaring lion, ready to devour. And when I seen that smoke of that lion's face come up out that volcano, it was kind of scary, but at the same time, I was so excited because I do pay attention to what's going on around the world. I watch worldly news, I watch local news, I watch, pretty much any news I can watch to see what's going on. So I'm noticing like over towards Saudi Arabia, there's a lot of different flooding. There's torrential rains and flooding in some parts of Africa as well as Israel. So the Most High is doing his thing, and he's doing his thing for a reason. We may not understand why, but he's doing his thing. And I couldn't be more excited because, things been kind of hectic on this planet, and it says that the planet will rejoice when the righteous people are governing over things. And so far, we all know what's going on with our planet. There's nothing good that's happening with Mother Earth at this moment. You know what? Painting her eyes, but I think I'm going to keep her eyes closed on this one, guys. So I'm going to paint it brown. But I'm going to add some lashes to her, some actual lashes. Because when I was in the world, I was like everyone else. I like to put chemicals in my hair, straighten my hair out, wear false hair weaves, fake lashes. But I realized none of those things was me. It wasn't Yashonda. I was trying to project and play a part to fit into a society under European standard of beauty. And as I read my Bible, that's not the same beauty that the Most High speaks of. So I'm like, you know what? Do I want to please man and fit into what man says is beautiful? Or do I want to fit into what the Most High says is beautiful? And you guys already know what I chose. This is why you see me in all of my videos with my head covered. Like I said, it's also to respect my head. I choose to respect my earthly husband, myself, and my heavenly husband. So I keep my head covered just in case I start, speaking about the Most High, his words, or prophesizing. And for anyone that's out there that's, that has a different opinion than I do as far as, my rigid religious beliefs, I respect everyone else's beliefs, and I pray that you do the same with me. So if you disagree with something I say, just keep it, you know, keep it kosher. Just agree to disagree and don't have to say anything nasty. Just keep it moving. But that's not the only place that there's some bad weather happening. Of course, you see the volcano erupting. They said it could cause a tsunami. Everyone is pretty much aware of the fires that's still going on in Australia. Not to speak of, you know, in Italy, the water is rising. They pretty much, you know, is reaching its peak. And there's some northern countries in Providence in like Canada area. I want to say by Nova Scotia, but I already turned it off. By Nova Scotia, that these places that wasn't, the water is rising. And if anyone paying attention, you know that, the ice glaciers in Antarctica and some other places, as far as, northern areas, the ice is melting and the water has to go somewhere. Ergo, why I feel that most of these places are flooding out. It's the Most High doing His will. All these things are mentioned inside, the Torah. It says when His son, Yahawashi, comes back, it's like a woman that's prevailing in childbirth. The earth is going to feel, pains like labor pains. And as close as the child gets to, being born, I'm paraphrasing, guys. As soon as the child gets to being born, that the pain is going to increase in the earth, which is means it's going to be more floods, it's going to be more tornadoes, it's going to be more hurricanes, it's going to be more tsunami, it's going to be more earthquakes. Not to speak of the earthquake in Puerto Rico, and they had several tremors down there. And if you know anything about Puerto Rico and the fault it sits on, far as in the ocean, you can kind of start to see what times we're living in. You cannot be ignorant to what's going on, guys. You have to really pay close attention and use, that brain of yours and use discernment and to, try to get yourselves right. Because when he come back and you don't have yourself in order, there's people that's going to be running and say, Lord, Lord, haven't I prophesied and converted people and did things in your name. And the most painful and hurtful thing is to hear is him to say, I never knew you. That's the most painful thing to hear is him to say he never knew you. Because do you really know him according to the scriptures? You can't just read the Torah. You can't just read the Bible like it's a regular book. Yes, they taught us here in America, and I'm pretty sure some more countries in America, maybe not so much as China or in some of the Asian countries, that we read the book from cover to cover, from the left side going all the way to the right. And the Bible's not written for you to read it like that. To get the basic story, to get the basic timeline, yes. But to really get the understanding, it is written that you must go line upon line. A pair, here a little and there a little, from the scriptures to get a deeper understanding. And when you get a deeper understanding and to understand what's going on, like I said before, you start to realize what time we're in and what time it is. And it's high time that a lot of us get our act together, because we don't want to be fine trying and wanting when the Most High comes through. I mean, I know I don't. And as much as I love people and everyone, when that time comes, not to be like my father, but whomever, or my heavenly husband, if he say he never knew you, guess what? I don't know you neither. Because it's a race to get to the finish line. And People are so complacent and comfortable, with this rat race of what society taught us, that you need wealth to be considered to be someone, and they're chasing the bag and they're chasing the money. I mean, as you guys can see with my subscribers, I have less than, oh gracious, I think about 250, 257. And I do this because I enjoy doing it. If I was doing it to get, some sort of, compensation from YouTube, I don't get anything. I do it because I enjoy it, and I want to show people there's other things that you can do to kind of occupy your time. Now, at one point in time, I was a smoker. I no longer smoke anymore due to the Most High. All praises to Him. And I always enjoy drawing and doing arts and crafts. And this, it gave me an opportunity to get back into my love and my craft when I let smoking cigarettes go and some other things. I'm not ashamed. I'm just happy that that burden has been taken away from me. I mean, that was a long time, almost 20 years a smoker, and just overnight I dropped that habit like that. The Most High took it away from me. He took it away from my husband, and we've been living a more pure, cleaner existence for letting the cigarettes go. I used to get headaches, and I'm sure it was due to smoking them cigarettes. It was making my blood pressure go up, and I still couldn't associate the two. I mean, my little brainy, because I was so addictive, was like, you just need to light up another cigarette. That's a lie. You don't need a cigarette. You see how I'm holding my paintbrush? Look, I don't need a cigarette. Only thing I need is my paintbrush. It calms that fetish of how I used to hold my cigarettes, but I'm using it to do something that served more purpose than me killing myself. Why am I trying to kill myself to appease to society and make some old people that already have billions of dollars even richer? That makes no sense. And I start seeing a bigger picture, and I'm like, only thing I am doing is killing myself to make some old people richer. And they don't care if I live nor die, or what other ailments I get from smoking cigarettes. So, anyone out there that's a smoker, I encourage you today to stop. Pick up a paintbrush, pick up a craft, pick up a good habit, and just focus and concentrate on that. If you feel like you're not strong enough, I mean, they have a lot of little help quit lines in different areas. Now, I live in Florida here in the United States. And here in Florida, they have a 800 quit line for people who wants to quit smoking cigarettes but still need a little help. They give out patches. They give out, uh, I think, gum patches and like Nicorette or nicotine gum to help calm the urges, because they want you to be successful. We know here in Florida that cigarettes don't do you no good. They basically shed almost like they could shed all the way up to 15 to 20 years off your life. And if you stop today, the benefits of it is you gain those years back. It's amazing how the body will recover itself. I mean, you don't just continue on smoking and be like, I'm gonna stop tomorrow. If you have that mentality, always I'm gonna stop tomorrow, you're never gonna stop. You just have to build up the courage to take those cigarettes, flush them. Kind of like how I heard, some of the elders when I was a young kid, how they stopped young children from sucking their thumb because it was a bad habit as well. Suck your thumb, you pushing your teeth forward. It costs more money to go see an orthodontist and get braces. And most people, and not to say that they actually did this, but I always thought it was the most funniest thing. Some suggest, putting hot sauce on the kid's thumb, and some suggest putting chicken poop. I don't know if that ever worked. I'm glad that I didn't have that problem. They do have some stuff. If you do have a child, I would not suggest that you use any of that. No hot sauce, and definitely not no chicken caca. Um, they have this thing that's called nail biter, but it's for thumb suckers. And it's almost like a polish. You just paint it on the child's nail that on the if they suck their thumb or fingers or whatever, you paint it on their nail that they suck and allow it to dry. And anytime they stick that thumb in their mouth, it must be a terrible taste. They'd snap it right out their mouth and stop sucking. You guys know how it is if you've done dealt with babies. Same as a pacifier. You have to wean the baby off the pacifier and basically make them stop. Same way with, smoking cigarettes and having bad habits. You can do it. I know it may seem difficult, but you can do it. If you hear voices in the background, it's my mother. Now, I don't know if you guys well, I'm sure you heard about it, what's going on for us with the beginning process of the impeachment of our president. But apparently last night, Anderson Cooper 360 on CNN had an exclusive interview with Rudy Giuliani's assistant. And oh my goodness, guys, this man is dropping bombs. He says that he's a witness, basically, to some of the things that the president was doing to win this upcoming race in 2020. I don't know whether to believe it or not. I just know that this is going to be quite an interesting day, especially around 12 o'clock. And I know a lot of people may not be interested in that, but as far as now, this is where we live. This is our president. These things do affect us, although we think not. It does affect us. It affects the economy. It affects, everything. So I know I'm going to be paying attention to what goes on with that a little later. And I don't want to hold you guys up much longer. I just want to come in and say good morning and have, a cup of coffee with you guys and get started on my weird project of painting this mannequin's head. If you guys would like to see the finished process of this, I suggest you take a look at my video once I'm done creating the video, editing it, and upload it to YouTube. And you can see how this mannequin head turned out and how I'm going to paint her up. And yeah. Until later, everyone have a blessed day and shalom.